I think I and everyone else involved found this to be a very positive project, very positive feelings, because during this kind of situation where still all of us are, meeting remotely, during this sort of epidemic situation, everybody wants to help out. But of course, it feels as though there's not a lot many of us can do who are not doctors, nurses, or scientists. And I think we all knew that a lot of teachers were feeling that way. And I think everyone involved really appreciated the chance to do something, work on a course like this that is productive and helps people not only better understand the, as Zhu Laoshi said, sort of social reality, but also provide functional educational value at a time when that is a very in-demand commodity that everyone needs a little more of. And I agree that one of the things we thought about a lot at the beginning was that this needs to be a good educational opportunity, and it shouldn't feel like a normal class. It should have real life guidance value, but it should still be accessible to middle or high school students and have practical, English learning functionality. We did 3 versions total, depending on how you count. There was the initial version, which we wrote based on, I forget when it was, but it was an official government publication of 30 or so keywords and phrases relating to COVID-19. And so the first draft of the script, as Zhu Laoshi said, I went a little overboard with the scientific lingo because I wanted to use every single one of those 30 words. And so we did a test version of the class based on that script, and it was a little complicated. So in the second version, the Puti school and I sort of cut it down. We cut down the specific scientific words that, are of not limited value, but limited effectiveness and a ability to teach them in one 10-minute class. And we sort of bulked up the amount of practical real life advice. So in other words, we cut out material about, droplet transmission and very specific things. And we added a lot more about, with this time at home, you could be spending more time learning, doing new hobbies, et cetera, et cetera. Third version we did was just sort of a final polishing up. Of course, I needed a lot of help because my Chinese subtitles for it were terrible, and so I needed Zhu Laoshi and others to help me fix them up. So I would say the first and biggest thing when you're working on any kind of video, be it educational or otherwise, is you need to have a very solid script that you are prepared to say almost exactly word for word, if not exactly word for word. I think that throws a lot of people off, but you have to remember that when we're doing these sorts of educational videos, they really need to be tight and they need to have bilingual subtitles, which means that this is something people often don't think about until it's too late. When you are editing a video and every other sentence you've said something a little bit different, you have to keep changing titles. It makes editing longer. And I think a lot of people just kind of give up on filming videos because of that part that they don't think about. And that's something I've had to learn from a lot of mistakes over the years of making these things. On the second, or a related second point, it is very, very, very helpful to be able to read and write functionally in Chinese, or at the very least have a good friend who will help you do so. Because if you write your whole video and then have to have it translated, I have found that that is an amount of activation energy that often stops a lot of people from continuing, because translation is a large and difficult process in and of itself. So both the script point and the Chinese point, I would say, go together in one point, which is being really well prepared and thinking carefully about exactly what you want to film before you ever touch a phone or a camera is probably the most important thing you can do to help yourself if you want to make good video classes. The second thing on a technical filming level is that you need